Hey everyone, this is Paul from Rank Assassin. I'm so excited to show you the new feature we've worked on that's gonna be a game changer for alt text optimization. So in Rank Assassin, we've created a new tool called the alt text manager where you can manage alt text for images and update them using AI. So the way we've set it up in the system is it pulls information from the page and takes information for your brand, takes information for the headers you have on that page, and actually generates it that's SEO optimized. That's ideal for your image automatically using AI. So you don't necessarily need to go through the process of going to the page manually looking at the content, how you're gonna be optimizing it for your brand, how to optimize it for certain keywords. It's all gonna do it automatically without you having to do anything else. Now, the feature for this is pretty simple. If you want to generate content for pages, alt text for pages that have no alt text, you could just set the filter to no alt text. And let's say I want to look at the ones that are only images that are just being used in a single page. And I could look at the list of images here that have no alt text. So definitely we want to add alt text to them. If you want to add alt text to a single image, all you need to do is actually just select this button. Just click on Generate AI alt text, and it's going to generate it in the background. It takes about a couple of seconds. But what the server is basically doing is it's looking at the image, it's looking at the content, so it's trying to make it a bit. You see that boost air, heating and cooling technician troubleshooting common causes of AC issues. So this is basically contextual. So it's creating the alt text based on the image and also in the content. So the way we've set it up in the system, it crawls the page, it checks the headers, it checks the content surrounding the image, so it could accurately gauge the best optimal alt text for that image. Another feature would be to, let's say, if you want to generate just the bulk alt text for all of these images and without having to manually just click on all these buttons, it's going to be a nightmare to do that. You could select by just clicking on one of the check boxes here. And if you click on select all, you could select all the images in the site that's doesn't have an alt text and it's also being used in a page. So I could just select all and generate AI alt text, and it's gonna generate for every images here that doesn't have an alt text. So I could just go ahead and just do that here. It says 22 of the images selected are eligible for AI generation. Now, when it's how it's creating the alt text, it's using the page as the context. Okay, that's primarily what we need the to work with, so that the AI has a reference point on how to optimize the alt text, so it's SEO optimized, so it's actually gonna help your website to actually rank. So if it's a local page, then it's gonna take all the local keywords or the local mentions in that page. It's gonna take, if it's an informational page like an article, it's gonna take all the informational article mentions, keywords there, all the headers, and take that as context. It's not gonna take all the entire content because that's gonna be a lot expensive to actually process for the AI, but it will take the primary surrounding contents, paragraphs, and just the primary headers just for us to work with. So it's contextual. It's generated for the brand, and it's based on the content. So just a major time saver, and you can see that how quickly it's processing in the background. I'm able to just generate, and you can see the percentage of what it's looking at right now. So it's 91% complete. Just gonna wait for that last image to finish up. And now successfully generated, and you can now see that it's auto generated for all of this. So now it's just going to be saving internally, but you can see that it's just generated everything here. It's contextual, so it also looks at the image itself. So you can see that the image is about Ream HVAC unit, and you can see that it's also reading the image as a context before actually generating the alt text. So you can actually see it's contextual, it's AI optimized with the looking at the image for the context, and it's SEO optimized based on the content. A real game changer, and saves a lot of the manual time that you spent on actually optimizing for alt text. Because I know personally, I hate going through individual pages, and you know that this is actually applied automatically if you click on the image. So if you click on the image and check the attachment details, you can actually see it automatically just added the alt text there, and you know where it's actually coming from, because if you check in the single now it's not here because we've checked on the no alt text filter, but we can check with alt text. Okay, and you can see which page that's coming from. So if you want to just click on here, you can just check the page, and you can manually check where it's located in the website, and that's how you're able to like interact with it and try to figure it out, and try to see if that's good or not or anything specific. But this is a game changer. Just imagine how much time that saves. Now if you want to check on the images that you're not being used, another common issue when you're doing alt text optimization is you never really know which images are not being used. So if you have images that's just in your media, it's in your gallery, but it's not really being used in any pages, then if it's not serving any purpose, then you can delete it. It's as an easy as feature that you could just do and just delete manually here. You could just select the images and delete them. And I know that this, in fact, is not going to be affecting anything with the website, because one thing for sure, all of these images aren't being used at all in the website. So there's no correlation with any pages with this one. So I could just go ahead and delete it. Now, if you want to check on existing optimizations for alt text, like you can check on filters for too short, check on single page. I will go over the multiple pages real quick, but basically multiple pages just shows all the different images that's being used on multiple pages. So let's say an image is being used on the projects and the home page and the service pages. This isn't really the ideal scenario, but the AI could still generate. You can see that when we were testing this, you can actually see that we're still generating the AI, and it's bases it on the content. Now, with the context for it, since we can process all of the pages, it will take the first context, or where the first image is, as the priority. So in this case, it's just taking the content within the projects page. This one is prioritizing the air conditioning maintenance page, and so on. So if you want to give more context to a page, ideally you should have unique images for each of the pages. That way it's SEO optimized. But yeah, this is the brief overview for alt text manager. We have a lot more features coming in the way for just adding on as a service for Rank Assassin. We have the SEO manager, SEO meta manager, the LLM text generator, the schema generator, which is really going to be a game changer. That's going to be an add-on to what we already have on the Rank Assassin plugin, which generates your pages, generates your location pages, city pages, to your neighborhood pages. The one that we're currently working on is the multi-focus keyword campaigns as well, since that's also one of the other features that one of our users is actually requesting. But this is basically something that we have a lot in our roadmap. If you want to see the roadmap on future features, or want to specifically request a feature, you can just click on the support panel and click on request a feature, and you could see all the different features that's currently being in progress or being worked at. You can see the updates that we did just recently. Last week we did an overhaul on some changes and some features with the plugin. You can actually just see everything here automatically, and you can submit a post if you want to request a specific feature. We do take in account the user requests as well. But yeah, that's pretty much the summary of it. I'm gonna be posting this as well on the setup. But yeah,